I took my camera off. There I am. Hi.
Hello. There's your beautiful face. We love seeing you. Hi, MM.
I am in such a good mood, which is really, it's, it's, I don't know why, but
I
I
have
am.
three
So
reasons why, and they're all backstage. That's why I'm in a good mood tonight because we
yeah,
got three reasons why. Yes.
they're beautiful.
They
They're
are
awesome.
beautiful. And I wanted to say this. So, of course, we're closing out Spam Month, which is
I
suicide.
think, well, it runs till the end of September, but for Journeys, this is our
Right.
last episode for Spam Month.
Exactly. And you and Bethy from SDF really came together again to really pay attention to this and elevate this and create awareness. And so you're calling this one like celebration of hope. So you put
Yes.
such a positive spin on it this year, which I really enjoyed and loved. So we're going to talk about that. Can you talk a little bit about Spam? As I know we're on the tail end here, but your
So
vision
we
for all
do,
of this.
like
Yeah.
you said, this was our second year, and we collaborate with SDF, and we do performances, we raise awareness, and we have a lot of speakers that come on and talk about their own stories and their lives. And last year we did, embracing hope, but we had a lot of testimonies and everything, which is fantastic. Everybody was beautiful. It was amazing. But by the
Mhm.
end, like now, I was exhausted, and I know everybody else was. It was
Mhm.
really heavy. And I
Mhm.
thought this year, I wasn't well, as we know. And
Yeah.
I was like, I don't think I can do that right now.
Right.
Like, I don't know that I could have done last year's this year and made it through till the end. So then, I was talking about the, and then it just boom, an epiphany in the middle of the conversation, and that's how I came up with that. But I love that SDAF collaborates with us. We have a lot of great performances. Bethy scheduled all of those, which was fantastic. And then, of course, we did stuff in Cosmos, and then Journeys has focused on this all month. So it's been really great. And I don't know if you got the email. Did you see the email that I sent a copy of?
Tell
That
me.
Nam that Nami sent me? Did you get it?
No, I didn't. I'm
No,
so sorry. Today has been
no,
totally
that's
crazy. I
okay.
didn't see it. Sorry.
So I received an email from Nami. I posted it in our chat.
Oh, okay.
And I knew that we had gotten one anonymous donation that was, I
NAMI
don't
is
know,
the national, I forget what it stands for, but it's to support people,
National Alliance of Mental Health and
right?
Illness.
People who are
Uh,
suffering from mental health problems. Yeah.
yeah. And so I knew we had gotten one, but I didn't know how much or anything because I've been, like I said, there's a lot going on. So, but today I received an email from her because we surpassed our goal.
What?
Because some generous person out there who
What?
remains anonymous gave a large enough donation that pushed, and it was, we're talking hundreds, that pushed us over our goal. So we at right now, even though that's why she sent the email, because
Okay.
the two donors that donated the larger amounts did it through, they went right through NAMI. They didn't go through, but they wrote 60 seconds or Cosmos, whatever.
Right. Oh, that's
And
so
so she knew.
wonderful.
Yeah. So $535 as of today.
Wow.
I haven't looked at
That's
it, but
This is
isn't that
great. I did
exciting?
that. So thank you for telling me that now live on air because it's like so funny that I get to.
I know.
Wow.
And the thing is that I really want to give a shout out to also to Stephen, because he did a live where he matched whatever was sent in, and that bumped us up a bit,
Well,
quite a
that's
bit. So
huge. Wow.
yeah,
Thank you,
and that
Stephen.
yeah, and that was really awesome. And then of course the two donors, I don't know, if they're what the amounts were, but
That is
I
like a
know it
really
had to
big
be a pretty
deal.
good sizable
Well,
fund. So I don't know if it's somebody in our community or we had talked about
mhm.
it on our TikTok live, and I know
Yeah,
that's a
there were a lot of
huge
posts. You did like a ton
fundraiser.
of posts. So it was like a whole series of posts.
Yeah.
And but this is
So
what you talk about with journeys and Tom talks about with Burn It Down is like
yes,
we have a platform. So to be able
use
to
it.
use that to actually affect real change is just such an honor, right? Like that's why what's one of the big reasons why we do this. I know we do it for entertainment and we do it for connection and for levity and for but the fact that we can actually make a difference like what you're talking
Yeah.
about, that's like really good. Yeah.
Tonight's gonna be great. Everybody's gonna feel really awesome. And you know what? Next year we'll do even better. So it's awesome. I love it.
Yeah, we're on the ascent.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Yeah.
excited. I do want to point out real quick before we get going, because this is going to be really awesome. We have a couple of raffles, and just we have some stuff that we're going to do. But I want to point out that Journeys is going to take its season break, the end season one, and start season two in the week of Thanksgiving, and we won't be back until after New Year's. But we will be doing. Renee and I have a lot of pop-ups and stuff planned where we'll be
Oh,
doing
yeah, we have a
TikTok,
lot of stuff going on, so that's the
fun
thing, like,
stuff through the holidays, but without a
yeah.
pressure of the schedule, and give us chance to get our creative juices flowing.
I know, because it's like you can have a playground to experiment, people can try different things, can iterate different things, and it's also another chance to also be retrospective and to appreciate all of the stuff that we've already done on
I know
Cosmos, and
you and
all
I
of
were
these
like
shows.
episode 24. What are you?
I know, like, we've all like, just think of the amount of
It's
content that's
crazy.
been on Cosmos for the last 2 years or whatever. There's
Yeah,
hundreds of episodes, like, there's no end to it, and then it's like, I think we're so into the live experience, which is so great, the interactive part, but then we sometimes forget, "Oh my gosh, we have all these great productions already in the
yeah,
can that, we need to go back
exciting.
and reappreciate."
Yeah. Yeah, and we're getting new fans, and of course, I got a lot of messages about TikTok. When you guys coming back on? When you guys coming back on? You got to do it more often. You'll build your base. Blah blah
Yay!
blah. So that was really good, and we're cranking on guests. Like I just sent another flyer today. We've rescheduled Vince. He
I
will be
love
here in
Vince,
October.
yes.
Yeah, he's very
Mhm.
excited. And
Mini
then
Hulk, for people who don't know, he's Mini Hulk, he's been featured on
yes,
TLC and stuff. He has dwarfism, and he is a bodybuilder. He's
yeah,
absolutely
motivational
so
speaker,
yeah.
fireman. Yeah, he's out. Does it all.
Julian would love him. Julian would
Yes,
love him. Yeah.
yes, yeah, he would. And then I was asked today. I found out today that Brittany Jones wants to come back.
Oh, I love her. Go
Yes.
Brittany. I've been following
So
her on
yeah,
her TikTok.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's exciting. But yeah, so I just wanted to put that out there. But let's bring everybody on, because this is
Okay.
going to be great. I'm excited.
We got Julian Juice Miller. We got Tom
Hey,
Cheshire
Julian.
and Linda Rosebud.
Hi guys.
Hi,
Hi
everybody.
What's guys. up? What's up, people? What's up? What's
Hi.
going Good on, my evening. people?
Oh,
Good evening. Well, I
hey
think it might be nice.
everybody.
Do you want to start with LR?
Yeah. Did you say you had a some graphic or something you wanted to show her?
Oh, yeah. There's something I wanted to. I think this would be a fun way to lead off. There's something that I have here, Linda Rose, and you might be able to shed some light on what we're looking at here.
What is that?
What is that? What is
What
that?
does that say?
What is it?
It's signed by Linda Rose Crow, staff writer. Her first journalism piece got published. Yeah,
Woo!
Congratulations.
look at
Yeah,
that.
that
We kind of
yes,
ambushed her. She
We
didn't know where
ambushed her.
You
yeah,
go, girl. You go, girl.
that is the my first article that I wrote for my school newspaper. It got published today. Um,
exciting.
yeah,
Congratulations.
it was officially written yesterday. And it got published today at 12:53.
Oh, she
Oh,
knows at
Congratulations.
congratulations.
12:53. That's a diary entry.
That's
Wow.
awesome.
How does
So,
it feel being a staff
I
writer?
know.
I mean, our school newspaper, it's a lot of great people that are in it. A lot of my friends are in it, so they got me into it. The teacher that runs it, I have a journalism class with her for my fourth block. So, we wrote like just these little basic articles, and then I went out to be a staff writer, and she liked the article that I wrote. So, that was my first assignment was our freshman class elections, which a lot of my friends that are freshmen were candidates in. So writing about them, writing about some of my friends winning was a lot of fun for me.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's so
I'm so
awesome.
proud of
That's so
you.
awesome.
Congratulations. That's
Where your
beautiful.
school at? I might come out there, come speak.
Yes. Well, we don't give out our school, but
Oh yeah, 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 yeah,
but
yeah. True,
I'll
true,
hit
yeah,
you
yeah,
up,
yeah, yeah. Nah,
Julian.
nah, yeah,
I'm
right,
hitting
right,
you
right.
up. I'll hit
So
you up because
Stop, just
Linda
stop.
Rose, she makes heads roll at school. She is definitely not afraid to fight the system. So she would
I
be one
love
that
it.
would stand up and say, "Hey, you should bring Julian in."
Yeah, that's good.
Absolutely. I would love to go there. Absolutely.
Awesome. All right. So, Linda Rose, I know you can't stay. We just wanted to ambush you, really, but that was why we were like, "No, you have to come on."
Mhm.
But I know you do have things to tell, so do you want to share how music and has helped you with your mental health issues when you were going through it? So for those that don't know, Linda Wayers went through PANDAS, which is like an encephalitis of her brain, and it led to a lot of mental health issues that she had to battle through. So it's called PANDAS, what she had, and it comes from strep crossing over into the brain.
Oh my goodness.
So she's going to tell us how music and writing helped her.
Yeah.
Mm.
So, just for a little backstory, also if you want to see more, if you want to know like really in depth about it, you can go on the Orchid Times page. And if you scroll back through, there is a live where I spent like an hour and a half kind of talking about it. But like MM said, I do have PANDAS, which is pediatric autoimmune neurological disorder associated with streptococcal, which basically means that I had strep so much. I had it like twice every year for about 6 years, to the point where it entered my bloodstream and started creating chemical imbalances and inflammation in my brain. And it caused a lot of like things like blacking out in anger, a lot of depression, and anxiety that as a young kid it was really hard for me to deal with because I did get diagnosed with it when I was in my younger years. So it was pretty hard to deal with at first, especially since we went through 2 or 3 years with it and we had no idea what was going on. Because my disorder, unfortunately, is very not known because of how new it is. My disorder was only discovered about like 30 to 35 years ago, was when the first diagnosis was made. So it is pretty new. So unfortunately, we didn't really know what was going on, and a lot of doctors actually said that I was just being like a normal kid that was having temper tantrums. But weird thing was, after these temper tantrums, I didn't remember anything. So we knew something was wrong. My pediatrician actually was the one that diagnosed me with it, and I love her. She's been through us with every step of the way. When it got really bad, I actually had to enter a child unit because the depression and anxiety got pretty bad, along with just the blacking out and anger. So, and a lot of the medications we were working, we went through a few different medication combinations, and none of it was working. So I did have to go to a child care unit, which super happy. I didn't like it at the time, but without it, I was literally living with kids who were going through something like me or were going through really bad depression, which at the time I didn't realize it because I hated not being around my family. And when I'm that young and I know something's wrong with me, but I can't remember when I do things, I did get that feeling in my head that I was crazy and that like I've had like, because I took a psychosis med, which it was in the it's in like the category of a psychosis med, and when they told my dad that, in my brain I took that as I was psycho, um which no, wasn't at all what it is. We were just trying to figure out different medication combinations. So at the time I wasn't really happy about it, but anyways, it really did help me, and the counselors there, and when I was there we had our own school that we went to. We had a basketball court. We also had a farm, and we also had a library that was open to us. The library had a writing area where you could go sit down and write. And you could have a chaperone there, and we go there 2 or 3 hours every week. And I was there for 2.5 weeks about. And I first day I was there, we ended up going to the library. And I found that area and I started writing what at the time I thought were just basic rhymes that I thought like sounded cool. And after that, they later turned into poetry and music lyrics. When I started writing my music lyrics, like I said, I didn't really understand what they were because I was so young. But as the year went down the road, started writing them more and more. I've shared a few of my poems. My music lyrics actually have never been shared before because I'm not great at making music. So, but my music lyrics, I my dog's barking. Sorry. Um, my music lyrics, I in a way they kind of made me more anxious writing them, but in a way I like to call good type of anxious. Because as a kid, and with the stigma that's around mental health, you feel like you can't go to somebody for help. So writing those lyrics and writing out how you're feeling it's anxious to do that. Because essentially you're not really asking somebody for help, but you're asking yourself for help because writing down what you're feeling, which is making you come to realize that you do need help. And it's hard to kind of deal with when you're that young, which I figured out really quickly. And once I start explaining, it'll probably make more sense. But when I was writing down my lyrics, although nobody has ever seen any of them, and I still do, I write down lyrics almost every day. Um, it in a way I feel heard when I'm writing them. Not necessarily that like people are hearing me, like I feel heard by other people. It's more of I feel like I'm hearing myself because I spend so much of my day, especially with things going on right now. I spend so much of my day worrying about other people, like with sports teams. I'm a captain, so I'm worrying about like if my team's doing good this day, or if my team needs something during practice, or if they need something during the school day, or they can't go to practice. I'm constantly worrying about other people, which for me is kind of like a surrogate thing that I do. Like I worry about other people, so I don't really have to worry about myself. And it's writing down those lyrics, it kind of makes me hear myself in a way that like I know when I'm writing down my lyrics, it's me, it's what I'm thinking, just in a rhyme, and it helps me realize what I need in that moment in time. If I do need to ask for help, if I need a day, like I've been realizing I'm struggling this past few week with my mental health. That hasn't been great. I mean, I know when things aren't going great based on my lyrics, my poems. Like my right now, my room is a disaster, and I know I'm a very clean person sometimes. So, especially with like the way like I have books everywhere, which never happens. I have a very like orderly thing I put my books in, so I know it's not. I know I'm not doing good. So I texted. Something I do a lot is I always feel better when I'm hanging out with kids. It's always been that way. I love kids so much. So I realized I was writing down my lyrics at my mental health this week and at the end of last week. It's just not there. It's not good. It's not healthy for me. So usually I hang out with my best friend on the weekends, but this weekend I actually canceled our plans and I'm going to hang out with my baby cousin and my cousin's kid. Because for me, that's something that helps me, you know, feel better. And when I know, and I think something, even though there is that stigma around mental health, you don't necessarily have to ask somebody else for help. It's more of, yes, that works for me personally. It's scary for me to do that. So instead of asking somebody else for help, bluntly, I ask myself for help. And asking myself for help was asking my yaya, which is my aunt, if I could go spend the night there and hang out with my baby cousin, my other cousins, and my cousin's kid, was my way of asking myself for help and asking somebody else for help without telling them I need help. And that's something that I feel like, especially in schools and with young children, needs to be taught because sometimes you can't just, it's hard to go to somebody and be like, I need help. That's a hard thing. So being able to know you need help, but asking it in a way that is not telling someone you need help is really important. And when I realize when I know myself, I know I can't ask for help. So doing it like that makes me know that I'm asking them for help without them necessarily knowing.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. It's a lot.
This really, I just something occurred to me the whole time you're talking. I'm like taking these mental notes and I'm doing like a checklist and all of the things you mentioned, I don't do. I don't pay attention to. And then I was thinking about how you're 15 going on 16. And then I thought, actually, I'm 42 and I don't have those self-care
Right.
checklists, right? Tom, was that sort of what you were responding
Yeah.
to?
Well, I was going to say 15 going on a very mature 32.
Yeah.
We're big fans. We're big fans of Linda Rose, and she always impresses me with just your thought process and then how you deliver it. Um, every person on this planet and even in this room talking, we're connected in so many ways, but we're all very different. So everyone has a different way they would approach it. But I love that she knows what works for her. She has her own way of asking for people for help without even them realizing that she's asking them for help. And she's saying, hey, let me be with these little kids this weekend because that's going to bring me peace and maybe clear my brain so that the next 2 weeks will be better than the last 2 weeks.
Right. Right. Yeah. Julian, is that what you were thinking too?
It is this. How old are you? Linda Rose?
I turn 16 next month.
It is just it's amazing how she can just recognize that
Right.
and channel it into a way where she don't even have to ask for help. She knows when she needs
Right.
help, and it's like she know what to do. She know
Right.
exactly what to do, how to handle her mental health, and at a young age. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like, because a lot of these kids now, they're afraid to ask for help. And
Right.
Right.
she's absolutely right about that. Is even grown-ups, like they're afraid to ask for help, because
I'm still scared to ask for help.
Yeah,
yeah,
I don't
It's
like asking for help at all, and she's just, like, there telling me all of the things that I should be doing. That's what I'm hearing, and, like, her
Right.
song lyrics, like, Tom writes a lot of song lyrics and stuff, like, Tom, I've never written song lyrics where
No,
I go back and look at it like, "Oh, what is this telling
no.
me what I'm going through?" Like, it never even occurred to me to do that.
Well, there's just two things that I'm thinking about there. So one is this terrible thing that happened to Linda Rose. She magically is turning around and turning it into a thing that makes her a better person. Because most 15 and 16-year-olds, and even 17, 18-year-olds, they're a mess. I was one. I was a mess till I was like 28, and then the other thing is they don't even know if they're depressed or not. They're just acting out. So Linda Rose, because of the situation you had, you acknowledge that you're different than others and that something didn't feel right, whether it's anxiety or depression because you're not with your family or because of all this heavy stuff, this heavy lifting. And for the fact that you'd analyze it, dissect it, and then say, okay, well, how can I fix this and build myself up? I mean, we know that you're really, incredible human and a smart person, but like you turn this bad thing into almost like a superhero power. And that's really, really impressive and amazing. The other thing is we all love the arts. Everyone in this room, everyone watching. Hey guys, happy Thursday night, and I'm honored to be on Journeys. Thank you guys and girls. The other thing is we all know music has this magical, beautiful electric power. We all could listen to a song and go, I remember I was with so and so and it was the fall and she was wearing a red sweater when this came on. Well, for the same thing, Linda Rose, and I know me myself when I write, when I revisit these lyrics, I'll remember probably that exact day and that moment when I was writing them. And that's another form of therapy and
Right.
and self-help.
I could
Right.
say the same. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I could say the same thing about Rain. I also write poetry as well.
Mhm.
And I was, over here smiling when she said, she write poetry and she's a songwriter. And, I was over here smiling. But, like writing poetry and going back and reviewing it,
Right.
going back and reviewing it. Like, I never even thought of it that way, like how she put it.
Right, I never thought of that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, man, that's deep. That's deep.
Yeah.
I would review what I wrote,
That's
and
my spawn over there, folks. That's my spawn.
right.
Oh,
MSG
my favorite, my
credit.
favorite thing in the past 12 minutes is hearing these testimonials and hearing Linda Rose's story, but just seeing in the corner
I
and
know.
like this,
Like, that's mine.
Right, like
smiling from ear to ear. Yeah, that's
I know. I
mine.
was
One of
watching
my
at him as
babies.
much as I was watching LR. Yeah.
Yeah.
One of my babies. One of my girls.
Well, the cool thing
Um,
about that Coden, like Julian is saying, and what you're really doing is you're revisiting your past and you're revisiting your feelings and your thoughts, and you're almost revisiting them, saying, "Hey, man, am I a stronger person? Am I better because of this?" And I love that.
right.
and also when I go right when I go speak, like when I go speak at schools or wherever I speak at, and I go into my poetry, whatever poem I say, whatever poem I recite, it brings me back to where I wrote it at.
Exactly.
Like
Sure.
Right.
100%.
it brings me
100%.
all the way back, like years.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can definitely relate with both of you guys. Yeah, for sure.
It's so powerful,
It is.
and
It
I
is.
think you have a really great future ahead of you with whatever you do, writing poetry, writing music, but also um, being an educator and being a counselor and helping others. Because I mean, anyone that can come out of a bad situation on top and kill it with a story to help others, oh my goodness, you're doing the Lord's work.
She's doing it.
Absolutely.
She's doing it.
And you're doing it at a young age. It's like you recognize, like you understand your purpose already.
I just want to
Like,
say, I do want to say one thing because before I forget about this, and that is that we all have struggles that we struggle with, and Linda Rose is no different. The biggest difference for Linda Rose is she's always had people behind her she knew weren't going to leave her.
Right. That's a big
Supported her
thing.
even
That's
through
huge.
everything. It didn't matter what she did, what was going on. We were there. She knew
Right.
that no matter what happened, we would all be there, and we would
Mhm.
cheer her on and fight for her.
That's huge. That's huge.
So,
Yeah.
listen, people, we're not you. I don't want people to feel like, oh my God, if she can do it, I should be able to do it, because she's been through we've all had different journeys, just like
True.
us,
Very, very
to get
true.
us where we get. So it's a lot harder to grow and change every year that you age. It gets harder and harder and harder to grow and change. So luckily for her, she's learning now and she's finding balance, and there's some pretty major stuff, and she's going through. But she also, without realizing it, is really good at saying, like right now, she's gonna be splitting hair because she knows she's had she's got a lot on her head right now going on. So but that's her. She knows that, recognizes it, says, "I'll pop in, but I can't stay. I really need to."
That's okay. Yeah, that's great.
I don't even do that half the time.
Yeah, she's really good with her
So
boundaries and
she,
confidence, which I
yeah,
love, which I'm inspired to try and emulate. Yeah.
yeah.
That's a
But
good point. That's a
Mhm.
really good point because
yeah,
we can get into this later after Linda Rose leaves. But one of my biggest problems in my adult life is I try to help. And then when I can't fully commit, I look like the bad guy. So I'm trying to get better at saying no to people.
Yeah.
Mhm.
well,
Preemptively
I
saying
I
no
tell
before
this.
getting
Me and Renee
boiled.
have
Yeah.
this conversation all the
Yeah,
time,
all
don't
the
we,
time.
Renee?
Yeah.
Because I'm big on
Exactly.
boundaries. But let's say goodbye to Linda Rose. We love you.
Bye,
Thank
Linda
you.
Rose. We love
Bye, Linda
you.
Rose. Take
Yeah.
care.
Congratulations.
Keep being
Congratulations.
awesome.
Yeah, before
Yes.
I go, I just want to say that, like, to everybody, that, like, it's although, like, obviously I'm very in tune with my mind and my body, and that's because it doesn't come to me naturally. I
Okay.
still struggle with it all the time. I mean, I have a lot of experience with knowing the signs, but my biggest thing about when just before I go that I want to say is that it's never too late to ask for help. You could be the oldest person in the world. You'd be 136, and, like, it's never too late to ask for help. And even if you're scared, like I said, find a way that you're asking for help, but you're not saying I need help.
Okay.
Right.
Because
Good point.
for a lot
Mhm.
of people, especially for me, that's easier because, like, going to spend time with my cousins, that's me asking for help without me asking for help. That's
Hmm.
my way of making myself feel like I'm not putting, like, because for me, when I feel like I ask people for help, I feel like I'm badgering them or putting.
Right. Yeah.
So going to hang out with my cousins that I know my aunt would love for me to take care of for a little while so she can have some peace and quiet, um, helps her. So I'm helping her while helping myself. And um,
Great.
so it's never too late to ask for help. And if you feel like, I know a lot of kids, like Tom said, they don't know if they're struggling with depression.
It's true. A lot of
So
adults don't,
That's true.
so
That's true.
the biggest
especially men, because they're not allowed
Mhm.
to. So how do they know what they're feeling?
my
It's so true.
my biggest thing, if you don't know if you are or not, just like if you do anything, like if you play sports or if you are in a few art clubs or if you're on your phone a lot and what you do on those, do what I would suggest doing, what I do with my poetry and my songwriting. Analyze it, analyze your actions, what you're doing. And when you're doing those things, really think about how you're feeling. Because especially when you're scrolling, if you're scrolling on TikTok, you're watching videos, you're not thinking to yourself about, like, what you're feeling, or feel like you're talking to your friends. You're not really thinking about what you're feeling in that
Yeah.
moment, focusing on something else. So focus
Yeah.
on, I know people make fun of it sometimes, but I'm telling you, meditation and really focusing on yourself during meditation
Yeah.
is so good. Like if anyone says like don't do it, like it's stupid, don't listen to them. It works, and you
And meditation comes
gotta
in
do
so
it.
many forms. Like for
Yeah.
me, it's I put my eye mask on and put music in, put my
Mhm.
earbuds in, and everybody knows to just don't come near me. Like
Yeah.
I am going through it. So just leave me
Right.
through it. Yeah, you
Yeah.
know.
Your meditation, sometimes I know this doesn't like isn't like the natural like actual like definition of meditation, but sometimes the meditation for me is taking a basketball, going to the basketball court, and just shooting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sometimes that's my meditation.
Repetitive. I mean, I'm a big fan of mantras. They work.
Yeah.
yeah.
They hands down they work.
Mhm.
Find a beautiful sentence and repeat it over and over for 10 minutes straight, and you'll take your brain somewhere away from maybe some of that anxiety or whatever that feeling was.
Yeah,
That
meditation doesn't necessarily have to be you sit crisscross applesauce with your hands like this and saying Om. It can be with shooting a basketball,
Crisscross
sitting,
applesauce.
sitting
I
on.
love that.
Me too. I'm gonna start saying that now. She always teaches us like the best phrases. That's great.
For the
But
longest
yeah,
for
like
the
basketball
longest
thing.
time, for the
What
longest
we go
time, I
like
would
this? Crisscross.
yeah,
That
for the longest time, I would walk just around New York City blocks and made sure my feet didn't touch a line in the square. Like each
Yeah.
sidewalk's maybe 4 feet by 4 feet, and I had to just land in the middle, and my sneakers or my shoes or my boots could not touch a line. But that was really good for me, you know. And because I just was thinking about these other
You were
things,
stuck in
and
the pattern instead of focusing
right,
on the negative.
exactly, yeah,
Yeah,
you got it, exactly.
that's awesome.
playing basketball. I'm a big basketball fan too. Let me tell you, right?
Maybe we'll have to hit a Celtics game.
I was pretty
what?
g-
Linda
I was
Rose loves
pretty
the Celtics.
oh yeah? Okay.
Yes.
So I was pretty good in ball, but um during my I did 8.5 years in the feds, but eight eight years got me through playing basketball. Like just
Mm,
going to play ball,
that
that was part of my routine of helping me cope, helping me, you know what I'm saying, come to
Right.
my senses and just to get by, because I love basketball and that was therapy for me, you know. So listen, keep doing what you're doing, right? And man, just keep being awesome, man. Keep being awesome. You go,
awesome.
Linda Rose.
Keep
Yeah,
being awesome. Keep going with those articles.
that's
Can't
oh my
wait to
Yeah.
God.
see your next piece.
I have so much more. I just have two more things to say.
Ah,
Um,
2 more.
like,
See, she's got my DNA, guys. Sorry.
It's all right.
uh,
It's all right. You
I
go,
think
girl.
yeah, I think that a lot of people when they think just to go off what you said, Julian, I think when a lot of people think therapy, they think sitting in a room in a professional setting with someone talking about your feelings. Therapy can be whatever you do that makes you feel calm
Hmm.
and you release any pain or anger you're feeling. That's therapy. It's not necessarily laying down on the bed with
Mm,
a shrink telling you
Right.
like talking about your feelings.
Right.
That's not that is a form of therapy,
Mm.
but not like that's therapy. You can do anything
Yeah.
to feel calm or clears your head or gets your anger out.
Wow.
Therapy. And also just before I go talking about basketball, you guys were getting me on that basketball rant. I'm just saying, I know he's not really technically in the NBA anymore. Just keep checking up on Giannis Antetokounmpo's Instagram because he's posting basketball videos, and it's keeping my spirit alive right now. So
Mm.
he played for the
That's your
Bucks.
favorite.
Very good.
That's,
Um,
that's your
if
favorite
you need,
player.
yeah, I have so many
yeah.
sports cards of him. But yeah, if you guys ever need a little lift me up if you're having a bad day, Giannis Antetokounmpo's Instagram's got you. If anybody likes basketball, it's just my thing. That's all.
Very cool.
All
Okay.
right.
I'm
Love
sorry.
you.
I love you too. Thanks guys for
Take
having me
care.
on.
Bye bye.
Have a
Thanks
good
for
Congratulations.
rest,
sharing.
okay?
Congratulations. I was gonna say,
Oh my
I was gonna say,
God.
like putting your hands in the dirt and
Yeah.
removing a plant from one side of the garden to the other side of the garden is gardening, or mowing your lawn is therapy as well. It's all about transforming yourself into a better place, a
Yeah.
more comfortable spot too. So,
It
um,
reminds me a little bit. So my husband was raised Roman Catholic, like in a very strict church, and
mhm,
so he always backed to going to church. And when we first got together, we were going. I went every Sunday, so he would go with me. But he used then over time he didn't go, and then he would say, Listen, my church is right here in my
That's right.
yard.
That's right.
I'm saying like that's his church. And now I have to say through the decades, that's my church. Being home, taking
Yeah,
care of
that's
the
right.
animals, thanking God for our food, our gardens, our trees. So it's everybody has to find their own peace, right? We
Yeah, I
protect our
agree.
peace. We all know I like to say protect your peace. We have to figure out
Yeah.
what works for us.
Yeah, songwriting and writing poetry. And I imagine Julian, even though I just met him, I like that he says awesome a lot. That's cool because we choose awesome. So cheers, dude. But
Yeah, shit.
he's a writer and he's an underdog and he's been through hell and back. And I've been there before. So I'm a fan of yours. You know what I'm saying? But like I
Thank
know
you,
for
man.
me, writing and drawing and doing notes and writing poetry and working on music and writing songs, oh my goodness, it saved me and changed me and rearranged me 100 times.
Mm,
Without music, I don't know if I could have gone through some of the stuff that I've had to go through physically.
Yeah, yeah, you're my
that was
hero.
another.
I
You're
really
my
do.
hero. You're my hero, Anna.
That's
Amazing.
another part
Mm,
of my therapy. When I was locked up was music. Like we had the
I
iPod and we
bet.
can download, any type of music on our little iPod. What is it? iPad, iPod, whatever it is,
iPods.
Mhm.
right?
Yeah, I remember those.
And
Yeah.
and I would plug in, and I'll be gone,
Yeah,
and
you
it
you go to
helped.
another place. You go to another place. Yes.
Oh my
Well,
goodness!
it's like smelling a certain smell of food or place or
Yes.
cut green grass. It brings you the minute you hear like just a few notes and you're like right back to that where you first heard it or
Right.
Oh
the event
man.
that happened when you were doing it or whatever.
Right.
Right? Like it's
It
just
just
that amazing.
and don't let
I
it be
want to
one
say
of your
one thing
favorite
about
songs.
music because I've been leaned over my computer for over a half hour now because I wanted to tell everybody that I got to hang out with two legends this week when they were performing in Portland, and that is dun, 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 Vic
Vic
Bergens
and
and
Lars.
Lars Nagle.
Yes.
So we
Our
have
brothers.
Vic on the right and Lars on the left. It's Vic
They're
and
so
Wow.
Lars
they're so good. Love those
on
guys.
their tour. Their tour is called. Okay, I can fix my thing now. Everybody, say, their tour was called. All we need is a plug. Oh no, all we need is an outlet.
Well, we need an outlet. Yes.
All we need is an
Meaning
outlet.
like an outlet to let
Yeah.
our poetry and our music out. Yes.
All we need
Wonderful
is an
play.
outlet. And
Yes.
it was fantastic. I enjoyed it very much. They have more T-shirts. If anybody's interested, hit up Vic. They also have these really cool stickers.
Wow.
Um, but yeah, it was awesome. I had a really great time. I'm still happy. And music, it was great. I took my mom, and we all know, she's got stuff going on. And she sat there and she smiled and she was dancing at one point and she was just lost in the music. And it was really
I
beautiful.
love it. Yeah, because it's
Yes, hit them up.
because it changes people and it rearranges them and it helps them and it saves them for a day where they might have woke up feeling their bones hurt, but now they're smiling for an hour and a half. It's lovely.
That's right. That's right.
Music is so like music. Every time before I speak, that's my way of connecting with the crowd. Is
Yes.
music. I
Well,
I
that's
play
how
a
we
song.
met, Julian.
Absolutely. I'll play a
Music.
song and then I'll play the song and that's my way of connecting with the crowd and then I'll speak. But
That's great.
exactly, Em, that's how we met.
That
Exactly.
is.
You know?
That is. That's how a lot of us met during the
Yeah,
pandemic.
yeah, for
You know?
sure. I
And can
mean,
you
it's
imagine going through the pandemic without music?
forget about it.
All these music groups and
Yeah,
listen, when you're a creative person in general, you struggle with mental health because
without
your
doubt.
brain just goes to amazing places. But that same creativity, when you're in a funk, your brain uses for the dark,
Right,
you know.
right.
So it takes you on
Yeah,
the same intense emotional ride. It's just that you're now in the dark side of your brain. It's like
right,
insomnia. I write about insomnia all the time because I do not sleep.
right.
I suffer with it really badly. So
I do too. You
so
know what?
I it's your brain lies to you. It completely
It,
lies to
it plays evil tricks on you. You
you.
know.
Yeah.
And you know what? Since you brought it up that when you mention it that way, we all have friends that suffered during the pandemic. Some of them went to really dark places. I've been to dark places. I get it. Whether it's, night terrors or daytime stress, anxiety, depression. Some people we lost, that we lost beautiful loved ones to accidental overdoses, to suicide, just these horrible things. But now I'm thinking about this, and you guys are on this list. The majority of my creative friends somehow won and thrived during the pandemic because they had to go to these places and reinvent themselves and recreate themselves. Next thing you know, people have podcasts. Next thing you know, we're talking about this and we're having a discussion. Next thing you know, we're doing live streams, we're doing weird concerts, we're doing benefits, we're doing charities. And it's all, as Julian says, awesome.
It is awesome.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to see the people come out on the other side of it and thrive. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Katie's here, and she said that's how we met too, Mr. Julian Miller.
Katie, that's my girl. That's my girl. That's how we met, through music. You know
Well,
what I'm
aren't you?
saying?
You're the lucky one there, Mister.
Yeah.
I remind him of that all the time, Katie.
I am. I sure am.
I remind him. No, I love hearing those stories because being QK is where I started, and I still am a big part of QK, but yeah, to see all the relationships, friendships,
Yeah.
fan groups,
Right.
relationships that started. It's really beautiful. It's been really beautiful to watch, and yeah.
I've met plenty of people like
it's overwhelming how much happened during the pandemic. I mean, it was a
especially
horrible,
through
horrible
2K.
thing, but none of us would know each other.
Especially through that quarantine karaoke, it was just it brought a lot of people together, and it brought a lot of good people together. Just imagine if we didn't have that, we probably wouldn't even be on here right now.
The right people luckily met each other.
Well, I think what's meant to be is going to happen, and that
right
is what happened. And we all know I like to quote my dad, but when you're going through it, there's something that you're supposed to get from it.
Right. Something.
He really believed you would keep going through it, no matter what it was, whether it was a group thing, a personal thing, whatever. He really believed you would be stuck in the mud like quicksand, drowning until your ass figured out what you were supposed to be learning, what you were supposed to get from it, who you were supposed to help through it.
I get that.
He honestly believed that, and so
I get that. I like that. I mean, it's a form of being superstitious. I believe in certain types of fate, and no matter what, we would have met each other anyway. So this is the way it happened. This is the way it happened.
Right. And it did. It really was horrendous, and it's still hard. My mom's place was on lockdown again. They just got off today.
Really?
Yeah, my husband's aunt's in a rehab, and they're on lockdown because of COVID right now. So it's like I don't know if you guys can hear my mom. She's loud, but
I met your mom. She's awesome.
Yeah, she is awesome. Lars and Vic met her too. Yeah, she's great. She's great.
Yeah, she's great, man. She loves the right things, and that's what it's all about.
Yes. Oh, that love trickles down to me now.
Totally.
But yeah. So I think the pandemic sucked. Nothing great to say about it. I wish that hadn't been the way it happened. But I can't imagine my life. I think what would we all be doing right now? So many people, like Julian, would you be doing motivational speaking? We don't know.
I honestly
think you would, but
no, I definitely would, because I started it, right before the pandemic. Yeah.
But do you think that helped launch you because you had all the people behind you?
Right. I wasn't into it like how I am now, I was doing open mic, I was, going to open mic sessions and doing poetry. And how I got, into the motivational speaking was a teacher was at one of the open mic sessions, and he asked me if I could come to his school and share some of my poems.
Oh wow, beautiful.
Yeah, so when I went to his classroom, and I shared a little bit about myself, and then I did about 4 poems, and the next day he reached out to me and he was like, man, you are awesome. He said, them kids, he said, they've never been so still and paid so much attention
I
with
love
focus.
that. Yeah,
He
I
was
love
like, they
that.
always be on their phone, and he's like,
Right.
you had their attention, and it was wonderful. And from that day on, I was like, this is
You
what I
got
want to
this.
do.
Yeah, that's man.
This is what I want to do. This is my purpose, right here. Like, and that was 2019.
Wow.
And then
And
boom. Oh, I remember this now. I remember you told me this story, how
right.
then the
And
pandemic hit and you couldn't go anywhere.
right, exactly. Then the pandemic hit. And so I started doing, I did a couple of schools through Zoom, right? And then once they opened it back up, it was like I started to get more speaking engagements. I started to reaching out to more people, and it's just, it's starting to take off,
Congratulations,
It's
man.
starting to take off.
He's like a superstar now. Don't let him fool you.
Congratulations, and thank you for doing it, because the kids they're the future, man.
Right.
It's so
Absolutely.
important. It's so important.
Not only do I just speak to the kids, I speak, I go to rehabs, I go to sober houses and corporations, like
I was just gonna say workplaces.
workplace, like wherever I get a chance to go, wherever they accept me at, I'm there,
Right.
Yeah, it's really awesome.
Right. Yeah. Well, again, yeah. Thank you for doing what you do, man. For my nieces and nephews and all the kids out there, man. It's awesome.
I appreciate that,
Turning
brother.
a negative into a positive.
You have to, because you never know what the next person's going through, and by me sharing my story, it can be life changing to them. Like
without a doubt.
Man, who's that? You said that's your granddaughter, Linda Rose?
Yes.
Listen, she's gonna be a beast.
Yeah,
she going the way she's going.
She's a force right now. She's a force to be reckoned with.
Oh my!
Linda Rose for president. Come on.
And listen, right, kids.
She does want to go into so she's wants to go into the FBI, and she was going to go in service after school, but then she talked to like a lot of her advisors, and she's at her high school is like a prototype high school. They got all kinds of grants to build this high school. It's like one of the most technically advanced high schools, and it's a campus, almost like a college campus.
Yeah.
And so the benefits are amazing at her school, and she's lucky because it just happened to be built in her city. But like her advisors, they meet with all different people, from military to colleges to jobs to people that are engineers and people that are, like, they talk to people.
Right.
So I know Julian, I will have her ask, but
please.
I will.
Yeah.
And
oh my!
They told her, you're too smart. Don't go in the service first. You want to go in the service. If you want to go to the FBI, you're going to have to probably go in the service, because they pretty much pick from that pool. But they said, you want to get some college under your belt first.
Okay.
And she was like, but she listens. Like, I want to be like, don't tell me what to do,
Unlike every other 15 and 16 year old.
Yeah, she soaks it in. Like, she's very goal oriented. She knows what she wants, and she's not willing to risk it. Like, she is like, will tell people, I'm not doing that because that risks what I want to get done, and this is what I want to do. So I mean, she's very lucky.
Wow.
But again, she went through hell to get where she is. So she had to grow up. She grew up a lot. She had to relearn how to handle every emotion. She had to relearn all that because it was lost. So yeah. But anyhow,
man, I love that.
There, right? We can all.
I love that. I heard.
Tom, can you remind me what your post said and I commented under it but we can change that. What?
Well, so I also have a YouTube show called 3 on the Ones and Twos, and every other week we interview an artist, and we call it basically a book club for music nerds. So basically, we talk with musicians and we talk about one album. And the interview tonight is with the Minneapolis band that came out in the '80s, the band The Replacements, and the name of the album is Tim. And there's a song called "The Bastards of Young," and it's beautiful poetry in motion. But one of the lines in the song, so I'm here promoting the album and lyrics from the poetry in these songs. And in one of the songs, you know, it goes, "We are the sons of no one. The bastards are young. The mamas and their sons." You know, and then at this point he goes, "And the ones who love us the least are the ones we'll die to please." You know, and it's such a horrible statement because so many people who don't care about you, you're the ones you're trying to please so much. You know, and but I agree with you. It doesn't have to be that way. And I've been that way in some relationships in my life, but I'm proud to say I'm getting away from being like that. And if I can't change you, listen, by the way, your problem isn't with me. Your problem was with you. And we'll talk about it later.
That's right.
Absolutely. And that's the thing. Like you can't.
And that's boundaries again.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
Sometimes we try to change a person that don't want change.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like there's only so much you could do, but in the process,
you're invested more emotionally than they are.
Right.
Well, the thing is, it's because you got a huge heart. You got a huge heart, and you care. But I recently read someone say something recently where I guess it was a clip from a conversation, but a person was like, "Listen, don't worry, I'm not asking you to change. I love you, and we're no longer in this together." And the person was saying he's like, I've let you know clearly that this isn't working. I've asked you to change 3 times already. You're clearly not going to. So much love, peace. I'm out.
That's
And that's it.
That's like, and that's how you have to be because it's draining. It's draining.
Yes.
It will drain you, right? And it'll take away from you from moving forward. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like you have to move on. Like for me, like, you know, I got friends that are still living that life, that street life, that, you know, and their conversation is different.
Right.
You know, the conversation is different.
Yeah.
So it's, you know, because I know my purpose. I know I'm heading a different direction. So our conversation ain't the same no more. And if you ain't trying to, you know, do the same thing, not necessarily do the same thing I'm doing, but in my circle.
Right.
I'm not trying to, you know.
No, that's a really good point too. And the other thing is this, you had friends for 20, 30 years and you clearly still have this deep love for them. But then you realize, wait a minute, okay, only time I hear from them is when they need something, or the only time we talk, it's something negative and they're complaining and the whole world's against them. And then at some point, and I've had this conversation with a few friends that I truly do love, but they're like, "Yo, come on, I don't hear from you anymore." And I want to be like, "You just answered your own question, brother." You know, but I'll be like, "Well, listen, we both got a lot going on. Love you. But, but the thing is why I'm going to want to hang out with you guys because you're building me up right now." You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I'm not trying to hang with someone who only wants something. There's this agenda and they're pissed at the world. The whole world did them in. Because this is the thing. Because life isn't fair. There's ups and downs and all around. And I'm going to try to find the awesome. I'm going to try to find the good in it.
They say birds of a feather flock together.
Yeah, it's true.
Amen.
And it's a true statement. You roll with 8 losers, you'll be the 9th.
You have some people that will be anchors in your life.
Yes.
And you have some people that will be your life preservers.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah.
The ones you want to spend your time with are the ones that are on the boat with you.
Yeah, and it's funny. I made that.
You don't want the one that's always trying to jump in and save you, because then you don't grow.
Right. And it's so funny. Like, so you mentioned that quote, that I posted today, the ones that love us the least are the ones who will die to please. I wasn't expecting to get that many responses, but it's kind of good that it did. And I love seeing people make quotes like that, I saw a quote the other day. It says, you want to be around people who you see them clapping when you succeed. It's that kind of simple thing, because when I see you succeed, I guarantee you look at me, I'm going to be like this, yo, that's it.
Yeah.
It
Absolutely.
We
is.
had a conversation similar to this a couple weeks ago. I can't remember if it was on a live or just in our pre,
Was it Journey? Was it
our
Journeys, or was it
pre-chitter
you and?
chattering. I
Might have
don't
been.
remember, but
Might have been one of those legendary backstage
yeah,
conversations.
we have a lot of those. But we were talking about people like leaving people behind.
Right.
And
Oh yeah.
then, so you're not all going to have the same level. You're not all going to grow to the same space. Like every single person in Julian's life isn't going to rise to the level that Julian
Right.
rises to, or that I rise to, or you rise to, or they may
Right.
rise higher than us.
You may be talking
The
about the Burn
problem,
It Down that we did with
I'm not sure. I know
Corey Ann. Yeah.
I had a conversation with
Okay, it's
somebody
great.
about it, but the point of the conversation was that it's okay to be left behind in the
Right.
sense that I don't need to be on the same level as Julian to still cheer his ass on and be
That's
like, "Julian,
right.
I'm so proud of you. You're a rock star. I am so grateful to have you in my life. I may never get to the level you are at that, but thank you for supporting me as I get to the level of
Right.
where I'm going to be."
That's
And
it.
then you
Absolutely.
have people though that instead of cheering you on, they want to they want to pull you back to their
No, no.
level.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like you can't live like that. It's like being stuck in a bog, like
Right.
your feet get stuck and either you got to slip out of your boots
Right.
or go down with them.
Well,
Right.
Yeah.
so you just said, so like what you just said is like worth like $900. You know what I mean? So here's my
Can
thing.
I get
So
925?
yeah, so yeah, right. Can I get a witness? So anyway, so the thing is like, so I've performed on stage more than half my life, and I've also read poetry, but I've never spoken at a school. But I know now that if someone asked me to go speak at a school, I could message Julian and say, "Hey, what kind of advice do you have for me?" Like
Absolutely. Yeah,
this
for
is what you
sure.
this is
Yeah.
what you do. You cheer your friend on, and you go, "Hey,
Mhm.
you got any
Yep.
tips? You got any tips for me when I
Yep.
get to that level or whatever it may be?" You know what I mean?
Right. And them are the people you need in your life.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? When you're down, when you need help, you can reach out to them and they'll pick you up.
it's
Right.
Like me, right? Like 2 years ago, I told you this before, but I always share this in my stories when I go speak. 2 years ago, in an 8-month period, I lost my mother, my brother, two of my best friends, my apartment, and my job, all within 8 months. I could have easily
I'm so sorry.
I could have easily like relapsed. I could have easily
Without a
gave up
doubt.
on life. But no, I surrounded myself with people that lift me up because when I was down, I could reach out to them. Like my girl. She was one that was there for me, picked me up when I was going through all that. And
Yeah, for sure.
and but them are the people you need riding with you. People that'll cheer you on when you know what I'm saying, when you winning, or pick
Yeah,
you up when you're down. Them are the people you need to surround
Yeah.
yourself with.
without
You'll
yeah,
always have people that can't keep up, and not because they can't, because that's not their gift. Their gift they
Right,
haven't found yet because they're too busy staying. They don't want to grow and change and learn and
right,
rise. They want to stay down there where it's
right, right,
comfortable and messy, and they're okay with the drama and the day to
right,
day. Just everybody has to stay down here with me
right.
right,
because
Yeah, you know, and
I don't want to put the energy and effort and 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 time into trying to find my gift and rise.
right.
So, or they don't want to. I don't. It's. I have this conversation a lot with Renee too. I
Yeah,
have. I struggle because I like to try to figure people out. Like I like to understand people. I don't need to know everything because then what a boring life that would be if you knew everything about everybody.
right.
But I do
right,
like to
right,
try to figure out how I can motivate and lift them up and help them and be a good supportive friend, right? Like whatever I can
That's
do.
important.
And there's the curmudgeons, I like to say. I struggle because I just don't understand sitting in that all the time and not.
Right.
And I'm not talking about people who have severe mental illnesses and they're working on themselves and trying and there's just some people that are just they
Right.
like it.
No.
They like the drama
So,
and the
hey,
misery.
Yeah.
listen, what's the name? Les Brown said it. He said this. Sometimes people are so negative they walk into a dark room and start to develop, right? And like, like people are just so stuck in their
Yeah.
ways, so miserable, and you know, And it was
Yeah,
another time he said, he's talking about how,
Yeah.
people just have this sad face. Get away from him. He said, run away
yeah,
from him.
Run the
Like
other way.
this miserable face. It's
right.
contagious. You know what I'm
Yeah,
It
saying?
is
Like,
I do.
contagious.
Well,
And
yeah,
it's not only,
positivity is contagious and negativity is
yeah,
contagious too. Like
yeah,
Renee was saying earlier that you can become this product of your environment. So you might start acting like the people you're with. So you might want to be hanging with some good people,
right,
And
right.
Renee and I talk about this a lot as well, behind the
yeah,
scenes and on camera. And it's this simple. Trust me, if you go outside tomorrow morning and want to find some bad stuff, I guarantee within 5 minutes you could find 7 things to complain about. But
Easy.
if you're looking for some good stuff, you probably find 2 or 3 good things to be happy about. You
yeah,
know what I'm
That's
saying?
true.
Like
yeah.
waking up
True.
and going outside and both my legs work. MM's alive and she looks great. That makes me happy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Meeting you right now makes me happy. That's awesome. And knowing that my loved ones are okay. That's awesome. You know what I mean?
Oh, like
Yeah.
today I was running around. Here's a perfect example of something so simple and little in life, but it caught my eye and it changed my whole demeanor. I was running around with my mom because I'm going to be traveling and I needed to get my mom set with a few things. So I was running around with her from store to store, and we all know that I struggle with mobility and all that. And so I was like really dragging, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go into this one store. Just like I didn't even want to talk or nothing. Like just leave me alone, right? Or I'm bare. And as I'm walking towards the store, I start hearing giggling. I'm like, what is that? What are they? I'm like, what the hell? And then these three women come out and they are hysterical, like tears running down their face, laughing at each other. I don't know what the damn joke was, but they
Yeah.
laughed all the way to their car. And
Yeah.
I'm sure a few of them probably needed to change their pants. They were laughing so hard. But just what I literally watched them walk from, I don't even know if I walked during this moment. I might have been standing in the middle of the parking lot. I watched, and it changed my whole demeanor because in my brain, I literally said to myself, I want to be laughing like that.
Right.
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 Yeah,
Like,
laughter's therapy. Laughter's therapy. Yeah, for sure.
I mean, one little thing, and those people will never know. I don't know them from anybody. They'll never know that them walking out of that store laughing changed my whole day. My
Yeah,
whole day.
for sure. For
And
sure. I love it.
it is awesome when I see things like that, because I speak to everybody. I'm always saying, "Hey, how you doing? What's going on?" I speak to everybody, right? Some people don't speak back, whatever, But this is me,
Yeah,
But when I see like a couple laughing together, right? They laughing hard, and I'll go over to them. Not all the time, but I'll go over to them. And I said, "Listen, you guys, man, the way how you guys are laughing, make sure y'all stay. This right here, this is what you need to stay
Yeah.
together. This is what I said. I said, your partner, how y'all making each other laugh. This is gonna last for a long time. This relationship is
Yeah,
gonna
for
last for a
sure.
long
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
And I just say something kind, And
yeah,
but it's true
absolutely.
though.
It's not
It's
hard to be
true. Like,
kind. I mean, and here's the thing about being kind. You don't even have to be kind if that's hard for you. Just don't be an asshole.
That's true.
right, right.
That's legendary. That's 2,000. That's $2,000 advice. That's legendary. Hang
Uh-oh.
on a
I'm
second.
making
Hang on a
it in,
second.
people. I'll be on vacation anytime now. I'll be in Puerto Rico next week. But really, I mean, you don't have to be if being kind is that hard for you, or it's just
Right,
not something you have the gumption to do, then just don't be an asshole. Don't be a jackass. Let people live
right,
their life. Scroll by, walk by, turn around, move, whatever you need to do. Keep doing it, but leave their jelly alone. They're having
Yeah,
fun.
don't rain on my parade because we're having a good time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Who hasn't had a holiday party with family or something where you're all? I think Julian's glitching. Who hasn't had a holiday party or something when you're with a whole bunch of family and somebody's just miserable the whole time?
Oh, everyone it happens.
Everybody. It could be your birthday and somebody's over here being like, my
Yeah.
cat
Yeah.
doesn't like me, and
Hmm.
nobody's ever bought me a cake, and
Right.
I know,
like,
right,
right? It just sucks all the energy out of you. I have
right, right.
learned to put them in the corner mentally. Like
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
have learned that. Like
you
it,
tell
you
them
know
to
what?
keep it pushing.
Hey, I'm gonna.
They're happy.
Hey, ma'am, I got to step away for 1 second, but I need to look after a family
Yeah,
member. I'll be
that's
two
fine.
seconds. Thank you.
Okay, that's
Okay.
fine. So you just have to like separate that. You know what else I had to learn is I can't. One, we all know we can't fix everybody.
Right.
We can't change everybody.
No, we can't.
But it's okay to accept that some people are happy being miserable. Like they're
It,
happy. You don't need to try to change that. They're happy being miserable. Let them be miserable, but don't let that drain you.
right.
Find a way to put it in your pocket because you can't.
Like me, like me. If I sense any negativity out of somebody I'm talking to, I end the conversation. I end the
Yeah,
conversation and just walk away, or just and don't indulge with it, because it's like it's easy to talk about somebody. It's easy to gossip and think negative.
gossip graveyard, people.
It's
Everybody knows
it's so
that.
easy to
Gossip
do that.
graveyard.
Like, and it's just so draining, man. It's draining. I got a homie. All he want to do is just gossip
Yeah.
and talk, and I'm like, come on, man. I'm like, come
There's
on.
so much good
And I,
stuff.
and I come to him on some positive stuff, and he'd be like, "Oh, here you go,
Yeah.
here you
I
go." He's
feel
like,
like
"Don't give me that
they're
positive
not
stuff."
living though. They're not living the life of
Right,
purpose because if they were living a life of purpose, they'd have things to converse with you about.
right. He'd be like, "Yo, don't come with
Instead, they're
these. Don't
telling
come at
everybody
me with this
else's story.
positive stuff." I'm like, "Come on, bro. Come on, man.
Instead, they're just telling you everybody else's story as they've heard it because they don't have their own to talk about.
Absolutely.
So it's like, yeah, you just have to separate it. You just have to separate it and move on, and it's okay. And you know what? It's okay if I think Julian's a rock star and I think Katie's a rock star, but then our
Yeah,
friend Susie that we're all friends with, I
right.
don't get along with, but
Yeah,
everybody else does. That doesn't mean I can't still be in that group. It just means that for me
absolutely.
personally, and people can't do that. They can't separate. And I'm like, you have to in life. Like you have to not let everybody else's. I mean, I think the word empath is used way too much nowadays, but everybody knows I don't care for labels. But I do feel a lot of what people feel, and you have to learn what it's so healthy to take on and what isn't. There's
We
fights
can't
that are
let
healthy to take on, but like you were saying, your brother's an alcoholic. You don't
we can't let somebody else's
just make it.
opinion determine our future.
Amen, brother. Amen. There you go.
Yeah.
You can't. You gotta keep moving up, keep
You
moving
gotta
forward,
keep
keep
moving. You
changing,
gotta
keep
keep
growing.
moving. You gotta keep moving, keep growing, and have that vision. When you
Yeah.
have, what vision does? Like when you have a vision on your purpose, your vision gives you the answers of things not to do. You know what I'm saying? Because
Right.
you already know what to do because you have that vision. So it's like when you have that vision, your vision will pick the people you hang around with, the conversations you have. Like
Well, you have to make tough choices. You made tough choices when you walked away from that.
for
You had to give a
sure,
lot up to get your new life.
for sure,
Oliver,
absolutely.
the one you met, Oliver, he has had to give up a lot to get where
Oh
he's at.
yeah, he did. He really did. He really did. That kid is, man. He is
Mhm.
not playing. He is
Yeah.
not playing. When he said
He's
he
a
wanted to
rock
be a
star.
motivational speaker, and that was what, last month, right?
Yeah.
That
A
was
few weeks
last
ago.
month, and he said, "I'm going to go. I'm going
Yeah.
to places. I'm going to be a motivational speaker." And sure enough, look at him. 2-3 weeks later,
Crushing it.
he got a couple of gigs. I was
Yeah.
like, man, I'm proud
And
of
he
him.
was
I'm proud of him.
interviewing teachers about
I didn't
reading.
see
Like
that one.
what he
After we get off, I'm gonna go check it out. I'm gonna go check
yeah.
it out.
I'm so proud of him. It's awesome to watch. I love that. See, like we're enjoying
Yeah,
his journey. Like I
yeah,
take joy
yeah.
in his success.
His journey is like, oh man, it's awesome. I was on his live yesterday, And matter of fact, last night,
Yeah,
and
I
he was
keep telling him we're gonna get you guys back together. I just gotta see what dates are gonna work for everybody.
he
I'm
was
going on
reading.
vacation and then I'll be back, you know.
Okay,
for a while.
vacation,
I'm going
vacay.
on vacation. Going to Florida again. I just
Go ahead
want
and,
to.
and enjoy it.
I'm going to. It's gonna be lovely. But yeah, I think it's. David said that was a great interaction when we got you two together. That's one of the things we've been trying to do on Journeys. That was like our vision with Journeys was not just hearing people's stories, but hearing
Mhm,
where they want to go and maybe
mhm,
just being a little part of that, right? Like
mm.
introducing Oliver to you or
Right, right. That was
introducing
that.
Tom
Right,
to you or vice versa, like that. We just wanted to be a little part of maybe a stepping up to where they want to get to, like a stepping stone to where they want to go. And it's been really it's really without the credit and the anchor of, oh, we helped you. Like, we don't want any of that. That's not the
right,
purpose.
right,
The
right,
purpose is to know, like, look at freaking Oliver crushing it out there. I love
right,
it.
right.
I love it. I can't get enough of it. I could watch him, I swear, all day. He's amazing. Look at you crushing it. It's awesome. And Tom, BID, since you've
Yeah.
changed to like
Oh my God.
your format and came back with a positive party, people are
Yeah.
excited.
Let me allow you to say this and be very transparent with the people that are watching tonight. Hello. Backstage, I said to yo, I was like, yo, I want to apologize. I don't know if I'm in the best place to even be on here tonight. I am traveling and taking care of a sick relative right now, and it is messing with my own mental state. So just want to say one love and much love and respect to you guys, and we all are doing better. And sorry, I was gone for 5 minutes. I had to
No,
help.
you're
Had to
fine.
help. Had to help put
Family
someone.
first.
Had to help put someone to bed. But
Family first.
we got this. It's just like it's well. The cool thing is seeing everyone shine, no matter what. And
Mhm.
really just killing it. You know.
And you know what else is, listen, I get really low. I get in dark places. Mine is more physical stuff, but it messes with your brain. It messes with your mental health.
It's
So
yeah. Because you
it's
think like
heavy.
because you think like let's say you have a really good night and you like
How you
Julian
feeling yourself?
the
Yeah.
old days when we get crazy and you hung over the next day. Well, you eat some food and you take a 6-hour nap, the hangover goes away. But when
Yep.
you are in a dark place, sometimes you want to be under the covers for 4 days and not see anybody.
Yeah.
Nothing. You don't want to do nothing. Like, and I've, I go there too, but
Yeah,
I don't stay. I don't stay there. And
Nope.
I
right.
honestly think it's good to go there,
It's
so you
not.
can get it out your system, right? And then you can move on,
Right.
But
Well, you got to figure out what you're supposed to be learning or what you're supposed to be doing or
That's a
changing.
good point.
You had talked about mantras, Tom, and one of
I
the
love
things I
mantras.
do is, especially in the morning, most people, anybody that's been around Cosmos and seen me on anything knows that that first step of the
nothing.
morning is my worst step of the day.
Right.
And it can take me hours to take that first step. I mean, I can literally get up at
Yeah.
5 a.m. And not step out of my bed until 7. Like, it takes me
Right.
that. So I literally will go when it's really bad and I'm really not wanting to take that step because maybe it's raining, maybe I don't have anything I
Yeah.
have to do that day, whatever. I will run through every excuse for why I even bother. I might as
Right.
well just stay in bed. I don't have anything. I can do what I
Yeah.
need to do from here. I will run when I get to that point where I'm making those excuses. I force myself to run through. I have a list. It's literally a memorized list
Right.
of the reasons I need to get out of bed.
Yeah.
Linda Rose,
That's
I want to see Linda Rose thrive. She needs a good example. I need to, like
right.
everything in my life. I don't want to be a person that stays in my bed. I
Right.
have goals. I have, you know, whatever it is. That's my mantra, and I will run it, and I could do it. There's probably been mornings I've said it 100 times in my head, just
Well,
over and over.
that's why depression is referred to as the silent killer. I mean,
Yeah,
we're our worst enemies in our own head. Those people who are curmudgeons, as messed up as they are, they're not even our enemies. We sometimes are our worst enemy,
yeah,
and we need to not let that happen. And that's why we have these panels, and that's why we reach out to people, and that's why you have a group of you call a base, or a group of friends that or your crew that you might be like, yo. I need it. I need that high five and that hug or whatever it is right now.
The
Mm-hmm.
other thing that, based on what you were just saying, Tom, about the hangover and all that, today, as we know, is a great day. I have
Right,
a lot of heavy shit going, like
right.
heavy,
You too.
heavy,
You too.
major things going on. But physically, I am having a really good day, and so mentally, I am in a really great
Mm,
space. But
yeah.
my mind will play tricks on me because then
Totally. Yeah.
tomorrow I could get up and it could be completely different, and my
Mhm.
brain will say, "See, you're not getting better. You're not.
Right. You can't let
You
that
can't do
happen.
this today."
We got
Like,
these demons and angels on our shoulders fighting and stuff. You
yeah,
know what I mean? It's like,
Right.
right,
well, I hope your ears were ringing the other night. We were having a conversation, and I said, there's been times that sometimes we don't know what we need until we get it too. And all of a sudden, I
right.
pick up my phone. I didn't see my phone ring. Oh, I was in a meeting or whatever, or I was helping someone, whatever it is. And all of a sudden, I got a missed call, and I got a voicemail from saying, I'm running errands. I just wanted to tell you, Tom, I think you're awesome. Thanks a lot. And I'm like,
Wow.
tears coming down. And I'm like, yo,
Wow.
I didn't know what I needed it until I got it. So thank you.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
I
what it's
like to
about.
send out messages. I do it a lot. We all know that.
Yeah, I
But
do it too. I do it too.
when I do a lot of them at once, it's usually because I'm going through it. And I
Right.
had a long conversation with Dan Falkenthal about this one time because he was like, "You're always doing this. This is so awesome. I love it." And I was like, a lot of people say to me, how can you're always sending such positive stuff? How do you stay positive? It's like what they don't realize is when a lot of times when I'm doing that, it's because I'm down and I
Right.
can't get myself up. Exactly what Linda
Right.
Rose said.
I was just
I
about to say that. I was just about to say
Yeah.
that.
I am gonna lift you
Exactly.
up because I can't find my smile. But if I can make you
Oh, yeah.
smile and him
Well,
smile and her smile and her, then guess what? Eventually, I'm gonna feel those
yeah.
smiles and it's gonna lift me up.
And
Right.
we're taught as children, it feels better to give than receive. It's these
Yeah,
simple things, and then because of having these feelings, and sometimes being confused and conflicted and messed up, and being in dark places, it also makes you extra compassionate towards others. So you're like, wait a minute, if I'm feeling this way in the middle of this time, there's a damn good chance 18 out of my 20 friends are as well. I'm going to send out a love text or whatever saying, you're all
yeah,
awesome. This morning I felt 2 feet tall, nothing at all. But right now, because of y'all, I feel like I'm 19 and a half feet tall. You know what I'm
that's
saying?
right.
Mm,
Thank you guys. I'm a giant right now. You know what I mean?
Get
And it's the
mhm,
best.
It's awesome.
mm.
I would be remiss if we let Spam Mouth close out without talking about men's mental health. So I did want to just get you guys to maybe say a few things about how you feel
Mhm.
about that because men are definitely, listen, we
I
talk a
heard you
lot
say
about,
I heard you say that earlier.
yeah, we talk a
And
lot about women and women issues and the patriarchy and all that. But when it comes to mental health, men are the one from the time they're
yeah,
children.
I
Even
I
young
have
guy, young boys, they're not allowed to
it's terrible. I have a
have
feeling.
any emotions.
I have a feeling Julian and I are pretty close. Like the way I got a good vibe from you, and with thick lads, but I have no problem wearing my heart on my sleeve. And
Mhm.
I never realized it until a few years ago when I was maybe printing some poetry or something on Facebook or whatever, or like lyrics to a song I was working on. It might have been a poem that became a song, but I
Mhm.
literally said something as simple as, "I'm just going to admit it. I cry twice a day." Like that.
Mm.
And I got like the most messages from men, friends of mine. They're like, "Yo, man, that was so ballsy." And I go, "Really?" How'd you do that? And then, but also another beautiful friend he goes, yeah, Tom, maybe your heart's too big for this world. Like,
Aw.
that's the most honest thing ever. Thank you so much. And then private messages from saying, man, are you kidding? I go, well, some days, 3 days in a row, I don't cry, but some days I might cry 3 times. I'm an emotional person. If you're asking me at 211 pounds, if I cry, dude. You know what I mean? Yeah, I have no problem admitting it, like that, And so like, I didn't even, I did it even, well, for me, straight up. I don't even remember. It just happened. I wrote it, but like so many people reached out and was saying something. And I was like, wow, this really is terrible that young boys who are pushed on them, like you're not allowed to cry, or you're not allowed to wear your heart on your sleeves, or you're not allowed to emote in public. I mean, what do you think of that, Julian?
It is us as men, right? A lot of times we don't like to show weakness because we're the man. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And me, man, I share my story to be vulnerable. I share my story to it's a healing process for me too. Like
without 100%.
It's a healing process for me too. So just by me sharing my story, it helps me. It helps me be more vulnerable. It helps me to show more emotion.
Right. You're showing that you're real. You're real.
Right.
It's right. It's real. It's me being authentic. And it shows that. And like in the joint, right? Like being locked up. You have to portray a certain image.
Right.
Or else people will take that as weakness. If you feeling, you know what I'm saying? They'll take that as a weakness that you're soft.
Yeah, right. I know exactly what you mean. So you have to put on this facade.
Right.
And you can never reveal the true you, which is really sad because
it is.
The true you can be to do so much more and have so much more power.
Right, it does. But my thing was, I started to be my true me.
Really.
I went in the joint like holding this, tough guy, but then I was like, this is not, this ain't me. I ain't no tough guy. I'm a friendly, nice, loving person,
Right.
And I started to show that, that, and just by having conversations, being around people that are positive, being around, just interacting with people that I ain't about no bull crap. You feel me? And just showing love.
100%.
It could be simple
100%.
as I'm cooking something, and then I give somebody ain't got nothing to eat. I give them some of my food.
Right.
Love.
Yeah.
But the other thing is this, but you realize you are showing that you're a badass and you're tougher than the guy who's trying to be tough, because that's amazing. Sure. That's amazing character.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
I just want to say one thing real quick. Hey, everybody in the comments, we're going to be giving away a Cosmos sweatshirt tonight. So we will be drawing from everybody that's commenting in the comments.
Hit them up.
And tag whatever, get people in here. We're gonna be closing out soon, so
yeah,
time to get your name in there. Just make a comment and we'll raffle like we did last time with the book.
Right. And if I could say just one more thing that's really important.
I just want to give them some time to.
Well, I want to say thank you to you and Bethy and Jake, everyone in SDF who's involved as well. And if there's anything we learn is the strength in numbers, and communication and honesty is really important. And when you lean on your friends and you talk to them, most of those things can be, you can get built up and you can fix those things. But anxiety and depression, those things are so real with men and women. And so communication and sometimes going to see a professional really can help, The reality is because everyone's life is different and everyone's personality is different. There's a lot of struggles in life, but that's part of the life, and you really could have an awesome, interesting life, the ups and downs and all arounds. and it really is worth it trying to go for that ride. That's all I want to say. You know,
Yeah,
the
I
ride.
think it's really got to be hard because I do think it's changing for men.
Hmm.
I mean, slowly, but so same thing with women's rights, like it's a
Yeah,
slow, people don't like change. But I think hopefully when the youngest generation right now is the oldest generation, they'll be able in a much better place than we are. And
right.
especially, the men that are, my age. Not that we're the oldest generation. That might have come out wrong, but I think you guys knew where I was going. We are not the oldest generation, damn it. Close
Well,
though.
We
Getting up
just
there.
want to take bigger, like we want the steps to be more giant. You want the steps to be bigger.
We do, but then the system isn't ready for it either. I think that's why the mental health system is being overwhelmed right now because
Sure.
it's always been overwhelmed, and now men are seeking therapy where they wouldn't before. So
right,
that's a
right.
whole new group of people
Hmm.
going in where more people are taking their children for therapy,
Yeah,
so they'll be
it's
well
nothing.
rounded and learn how to deal with their emotions. So
But the thing is, a lot of people are starting to, understand that, that therapy is not, it's like people mention therapy, you're gonna go see a psych, oh, you're crazy, and
Right,
you know,
nothing
and
like that.
and it's not even
not
like
that.
it's not even about that. You know what I'm saying? And
I am
I
so
was
grateful for
even
my therapist.
I was
Tell
like
you that.
me as a young me growing up as a like I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
Right.
I was one to blame. Like, yo, are you gonna go see a psych? Ah, you
We,
crazy, man.
but but
But I didn't
Julian,
know.
that's also our fault because we weren't educated as we're products of our environment or where I was raised in Queens, New York. Like, what?
Absolutely.
What are you talking about? But I've seen a
That was
therapist
the
or
point I
several
was trying
therapists.
to make.
Yeah,
That was the point I was trying to make with Linda Rose. Like,
right.
she's a million miles ahead of us because she was raised with a lot more support and
Yes,
modern thinking than we were as children.
yes,
And,
and that's so good.
it's big
And
that
I'm just
support.
using her as an example because she was here, but a lot of children and teenagers now are miles and miles ahead of where we were
Right. Oh, for
Support
emotionally,
sure.
system
emotional
I
is
did.
very
maturity.
big in that area. Um, just like you said, she has Linda Rose had a lot of support system. Me growing up, in Roxbury, I grew up in the hood. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
It's like nobody was telling
No,
me about
no,
no mental health, nobody
yeah,
was telling me how to cope because my father wasn't in my life. You know what I'm
Nobody
saying?
was
right,
saying you can be anything you want to be when you grow
right.
up,
And
but
look at
really
you,
meant
and
it and was willing to help you get there. That's
right.
Right, right.
Yeah, I mean, I
Like
went to
I
see my
would go to
first.
school. I would go to school and they would, listen, they'll give it to you, but you coming back home to the street life. Or me,
yeah,
Right,
back home
yeah.
to the street life.
right.
So I didn't know. We didn't know. We didn't know at the time. But
I
I'm
had
just
a
saying.
friend
And with
once, I was at her house and she said something. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was something about, yeah, I'm never going to do that. Talking about something her parents were struggling with something or whatever. And it was because of their own addictions. And her father was like, he went crazy. He went like on her. He was just lost it. And he was like, don't you think you're on a high horse and you're never going to be anything? Like he was like we were
oh,
saying, because he can't rise to where his child's rising. He's
right.
gonna make her feel like a piece of crap,
Yeah.
and drag her down. And so this is the difference in how humans develop. We're
Yeah,
learning. Parents are learning. We can laugh at new generations and the differences and how, oh, we didn't do that when we were kids. Well, thank freaking God that they're changing
that's
because
true.
Mhm.
Yeah, and if one thing we've noticed and we learned over the years is anytime someone's coming at you and they're complaining about you, usually they're saying something that they can't stand about themselves. You know,
yeah,
Mm.
it's terrible, but it's
absolutely,
true.
Mm.
absolutely, yeah. I mean, what are you gonna do? You gotta live in. We can't go back to our childhoods.
No, no.
No.
We can't go back and
It
change
was
it, but we
it was
can
it was
learn.
hard enough. It was hard enough the first time.
Forget
Well,
I'm in.
I would say this, and I think Julian would agree. Asking for help. Therapy's good. I didn't see my first therapist till I was 35.
Yeah, I
I'd
was
be doing
older.
I'd be doing way better if someone would have told me at 22, maybe you should go talk to somebody, or 18 or something. But the other thing is this: go into the arts, read. Reading is the greatest thing ever. Watch documentaries, learn about other people's mistakes through biographies and documentaries, and your brain's a sponge. You use it and
Well,
learn, and things that excite you, whether it's sports or painting or writing or singing, go for it, because it's going to give you this rich feeling.
yeah, Linda
Absolutely.
Rose said it. When she was in the children's center, she said, "The library saved me." It wasn't
Yeah,
the
totally.
therapy, it wasn't the group meetings, she was in the library and she realized she could
Yep.
write.
Yep.
Yeah,
That saved her. Yep.
I
And
love it.
Absolutely.
that
I love it. I
was
love
the
it.
light bulb
Man.
that helped her to get through that, because she had to relearn all her emotions. So it was a lot of medication changes and stuff until they could, and now she's not taking medication, but in order to get through that, she had to. So that was a really rough time for her, but
Oh my
the
goodness. Yeah,
library. So like for
yeah.
somebody else, it might be learning the ukulele or
Right.
singing or doing karaoke or
Or or
whatever you
or or
think, or
or just
changing
throwing that
clothes.
basketball against the hoop. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? Against the backboard into the rim. I mean, because that they're all forms of therapy. Totally.
Absolutely.
or reaching out
Absolutely.
like I like to do and messaging
Yeah.
people to know that. But this has
Yeah.
been fantastic. I am loving
Yeah.
this. And Tom,
Thank you. Yeah.
I'm so glad that your whole demeanor has changed. The way you look, everything has
Oh.
changed. It's awesome. I love it.
Well, listen, all of these things too, it's like the endorphins. You've lifted me up a bunch, so I appreciate that. Again, a shout out to everyone behind the scenes who've helped, along with the STF crew and stuff. But, I wasn't feeling that good earlier, but many times you've lifted me up. But tonight you certainly have, and I hope we've lifted other people up, because we're all in this together, man. Any kind of weather. Shout out to Renée Yaworsky behind the scenes. It's
And
everyone.
Renee had a meeting, so she had to jump. Well, she didn't. An unexpected meeting happened, so
Mhm.
she had to go handle something. But she's here. She's listening. Every once in a while, she'll send a message. But yeah, it's been fantastic. I'm
You're
so
the, you're the
happy.
you're the best. I'll probably reach out to you in the next few days. We'll have another chat until we can do
Yeah,
these things again. I love journeys. I love what you're
yeah, it's been
doing.
awesome. We're really enjoying it and learning a lot, and it lifts us up too. And there he is.
Hey,
But
sorry,
let me
my
ask you guys each this question, and then you can say whatever you want to say final, and we'll head out. But what is the one thing you wish we could change when it comes to mental health? What is the
Ooh,
one thing you think we need the most, or what can somebody do for
okay.
you, or for men,
I,
or whatever? Like,
okay.
what is the one thing?
It's something pretty simple, but not simple because it's difficult, and I fail at it a lot. Is we need to throw the word crazy out of our
Yeah,
vocabulary, because I have family members that have some well, conditions that and then we're having these conversations. I'm like, that's not right to say that word, and but
yeah,
so loosely over the years. You're dating a girl and that goes wrong and be like, oh, she's crazy, or vice versa. My boyfriend, then he starts talking to me, oh, he's crazy. I am trying to not use that word anymore,
yeah.
and
I use
and,
it all
and
the time, but
yeah, and I want to
that
have nothing but
everybody knows I'm not.
respect. I want to have nothing but respect for
Yeah,
everyone and love everyone, but especially folks that
that's
have
brilliant.
conditions, and they're acknowledging them. They want to do something about it. They deserve so much applause.
Yeah, absolutely.
um, I
Uh,
think
we just had Storm on, remember? Storm came on, and she just got another diagnosis, and it was a pretty major one. Like, she wasn't
Mhm.
even ready to talk about it,
Right.
and she's overcoming and
That's a
overcoming
that was
and
heavy.
overcoming.
Yeah.
And yes,
um
that's a story. But go ahead, Julian.
for me, communication.
Huge. Huge.
That's
Like
a big one. That's a
like
big one.
communication, having more things like this, right?
Yeah.
Being available to people who are struggling, being available for them, offering service, offering your time,
Yeah, for sure.
Sometimes, sometimes they probably just need you to just listen. Just
Mhm.
listen.
Right.
They going through,
Oh,
just listen. No opinion to, give them no feedback or nothing.
mm,
Just
No
listen.
advice.
No advice, nothing. Just listen.
You
Julian
just
won
listen.
for the night. Julian won for the night.
Yeah, there you go.
That was worth four
Winner,
thousand
winner,
dollars.
chicken
That was
dinner.
that was worth $4,000. You're
Oh,
absolutely
damn,
right.
you took it in the end, Julian.
That
You
was
took it
that
in
was
the
worth
end.
40. That was worth $4,800. No, you're absolutely right. Just stop and listen.
That's it.
Yeah, I mean, and sometimes you'll have people that are like, because I talk to, I help veterans and stuff a lot, and you'll have people that are like, oh, I knew it was gonna be you calling. I don't need you to call every day, twice a day. But when I don't call,
That's when they
they'll
needed you.
go, you didn't call me last night, and it's like, I have
Well,
sometimes,
you're
sometimes
damned if you do,
even though
damned if you don't. You know
you know
that already.
you just have to. But I know this person over time, and I know that they look forward to those calls, so I have to make sure that I make those calls. But if I can't, I can't. But we laugh about it, but I know that they really meant, like, because they don't have
They
anybody
do.
calling them. They don't have anybody going to visit
Right.
them. They're all alone. There's nobody around. They
Well,
really, when you say, "What do you have to live for?" There are people.
yes.
Count your blessings, because I'm telling you right now, I work with people who I could be the only voice they speak to,
Right.
other than
Yeah.
Medicare or the
Yeah.
VA, or like there's no family, and there's nothing because of their mental illness or their
Right.
PTSD or what have you. They have lost everything. They are completely alone. Some of them are
Right.
homeless. They don't even have a flipping home to go to. So
Right. And some
count
of the
your blessings.
and some of those complaints slash jokes of them saying like, the one night I need you to call. That's also part of their defense mechanism slash comfort zone. Like that makes just them feel better saying it.
Katie, I think Katie's already spending the 4,800, Julian.
Oh yeah.
She said, "Send it, LOL. Mama needs that."
Oh
Well,
man.
thank you
Yeah,
so much.
and we
Thank
all
you
know
so
how
much.
I feel about everything. You gotta have boundaries. It's okay. It's okay to not be okay. It's okay to not listen. I have many people, family members even, that I have looked at and said, "I will love you till the day you die. If you ever are ready to get help, call me. I'm there.
Right.
But I cannot have you in my life right now on a daily basis. I
Right.
will check in with you when I can, but I cannot have you in my life."
That's and that's like so healthy for you.
And it's okay to do that.
I've had to do that this week. Like with people that you love, that you grew up with and stuff. You're like right now, and the
Mhm.
other thing, and the other thing is how many times you have to tell someone you go, yo, I can't properly love you until you properly love you, until you love yourself right, and then when you come at me
Or
right
maybe
with
you're
respect,
saying, "I can't love you until I can love myself." Like, I can't
right,
handle your emotional issues when I'm in it right now.
right, yeah, that's a great point.
And I was on the other end of that. Like I had family members when I was in the streets getting high. I had family members telling me like, "Yo, when you get right, we'll holler at
Yeah.
you, and like,
Hmm.
you're doing your thing." And I was, I respect it, like,
Yeah,
you
it's hard to at the time.
but now, like now, I'm, they, man, they in my corner,
Of
they in
course they
my
are.
corner to the extent, right? But I was, I wasn't ready for change, and
Right.
That's
and
awesome.
and when I came around and got my life together and was ready for
But
change.
you did the work. You
That's
trudged
right.
through it
Big
and
time.
did the work. It didn't just
Oh,
happen. There are people who think it just happens. They're like
uh,
waiting for that magic to happen. It's
yeah,
like, that's
it's
not
not.
how this works.
right.
It's not gonna happen.
It took me. I think it took me 3 different times. Like to get it
Yeah.
together.
That's a
You know.
really good point. If everyone's rock bottom is different.
Right.
Some people need a rock bottom and then another rock bottom and another rock bottom underneath that,
Right.
and then they go, okay, that's it. And some
Or
people,
they're not changing. They're not changing anything in their life. Nothing. They're not changing their job they hate. They're not changing their and
right,
and some things you can't. Some things take time. I'm not
right,
saying you rush everything. But if you're not making listen, I have a lot going on every single day. I have a rule for myself, steadfast, more than eating, drinking, whatever, is that I have to do one thing that is working me towards whatever goal I have at
Right.
that
Yeah.
given time. I
Mm.
don't care how
Thanks
small
so
it is.
much.
I don't care if I'm making a phone call, researching something, putting $1 in my bank. I don't care what it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Every day, if you don't, it's that same old story. You're going around on the hamster wheel and you're screaming at everybody because
Yeah.
you want to get off and play with everybody, but
Right.
you're not going to do the work to step off the damn hamster
Well,
wheel.
Yep.
yeah. Insanity's doing the same thing over and over again. Expect different results.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I absolutely love
And
that.
also doing things like another quote by Les Brown. He says, um, do the things of today others won't do in order to have the things of tomorrow others
That's
don't.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Powerful.
And by you
Good.
doing something positive every
Hey,
day.
you might be shopping at Gucci after this.
Mhm.
That had to be at least a 7,200
That's. I
there.
mean,
Oh,
that was like $10,000 worth of advice
yeah.
right there.
Ka-ching.
Oh
I'll send you
man.
the receipt.
But yeah, a lot of people don't like to, make that commitment.
Yeah.
And
And
but
some things I want to make sure that people understand. There's some things you can't change, and or you're
Right.
stuck doing something that because of a responsibility or whatever. I
right.
get that. I understand that. We all have
Right.
these things, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the things you can. We all have something we
Some
can do
where you
towards a
can
goal.
control, if you can control and make yourself better,
Yeah.
and appreciate it. Appreciate all of it.
But all right. Hey, thank you guys. Thank you. We
Thank
we
you.
went way over, guys. We almost at 2 hours.
Julian, it was so nice to meet you. I'll send you a
Hey,
message.
pleasure meeting you too. I'm gonna send you a follow, man.
Yeah, please
I
Yes,
do.
I,
Yeah.
I
I
love
stalked
that.
you a little bit. I gotta finish stalking you and stuff. So let
I'd like you
I
all to
love it.
know that little Julian over there, has got work to do. He's back
Listen,
to work.
so much love and
Mama
respect to you
wants some
all.
Gucci. She's expecting Gucci now.
I know, right? Hey, listen, I appreciate this right here. Thanks, Em, for always giving me this platform, man, to
Yeah, man.
Anytime. If you ever have
there.
anything you need to promote or anything, hit us up. Or you know anybody that you want to have come on, you can bring somebody on with you, whatever. Let us know.
Absolutely. Hey, Tom, it's a pleasure meeting you, brother.
Man, pleasure is mine as well. We will connect, and thank you for everything you do. And thank you for everything you do. And one love to everyone out there.
All
Yeah.
right.
Thanks, everybody. Thank you,
Thanks, everybody.
SDF, for joining us for the collaboration. It's Suicide Prevention Month. We beat our goal of $500, so we're very excited about that. And it's the link is still there if you want to do it. You want to follow anybody, the links are up top. Yeah, we're going to give away a sweatshirt to somebody that was in the comments. We will draw that right after this, and I will post who the winner is. Am I missing anything? Do we have anything shows coming up this weekend? If we do, it'll probably be Jamie's shows. She's got. I know her shows are changing, so I don't want to mess them up. But check out the schedule. BID will be back on Monday night.
We got a good
Yeah,
one coming up. We got a good one.
Monday night. Be there. Burn it down. And check out Julian. He's everywhere, all over the place. You can't miss him, especially if you live in New England.
For
I
sure.
love it. I love it.
But his links are up above as well. And thank you everybody very much. We appreciate you. And this was a wonderful, much better way to end this month for me than last year. Last year was really
It was heavy.
really heavy.
This is a bit lighter and it's positivity. This is like awesome stuff.
Yeah.
Awesome sauce.
Absolutely.
Crisscross applesauce. We all learned it. We know it now. Crisscross applesauce.
Crisscross applesauce. I like that.
Thank you guys.
Katie, I want to see your haul from Gucci later.
All right.
Send pictures. All right, guys. Thank you.
All
Thank
right.
you. Bye bye.
We're gonna wait for